Miss T.
Miss T.
Miss Tia. Miss T.
Miss T.
Miss T.
Miss T.
Miss T.
Miss T.
Can't wait for you to meet Miss T. She is the T in T.
Woohoo! Welcome back. I have another 10 for you. Here's number 21. Okay. You can't trust everybody. If you're as naive as I am sometimes, I will trust people and then wait for the evidence of me not being able to trust people. But when you're doing something like business, especially if you're exchanging currency and you're dealing with people's lives like I do with young people, I have to be so cautious about everybody I bring into this ecosystem. And so, a point that I didn't get in the beginning of all of this is you can't trust everybody. And there are people that will cloak themselves in faith, in God, in good, when really underneath that cloak, they are wolves. I have been more taken advantage of and more robbed than I even care to share or suggest. These very people, they cause me to get therapy. It's like craziness. But just know that you can't trust everybody. Trust you, trust the people that have proven themselves trustworthy. And until they prove themselves, they don't get trust. Trust is earned, especially in business. You don't just go becoming a partner with somebody because of what they say. You watch the fruit of what they do. And then you make the decision, okay, you can come into the core, or okay, I'll give you a check, or okay, we can partner. But you can't trust everybody. And once you start this business thing, and if you like me and you start getting some success in this thing, I'm telling you, the crazies will come from everywhere, like everywhere. So you want to make sure that you know going into this thing, I've been robbed. I've been like my last nickel, my last thousands of dollars for someone that said they could multiply it. If it sounds too good to be true, guess what? Go ahead, finish it. If it sounds too good to be true, maybe it's too good to be true and you shouldn't trust it. So what somebody didn't tell me is, T, you can't trust everybody. And you will know them by their action, not what comes out of their mouth, because everybody's a liar. Don't get mad at me. It is true. Everybody does that. So until they prove that they're trustworthy, they don't get your business trust. They don't get your business partnership. They don't get your business alignment until they prove that they can be trusted with it. So again, number 21, you can't trust everybody, and build the system that helps you with that. 22 is you're going to get so busy building your beautiful baby called your company that you're going to have to schedule vacations. Yeah, there's something to be said. I didn't do this in the beginning of all this, and nobody told me the importance of pausing, taking respite, not working myself into the ground because I'm so invested in my beautiful business. You got to take a vacation. So schedule them in. Top of every year, pencil in. This week, I'm out, I'm off, and really tap out. If your baby can't survive without you, then you don't have the right team. You have to pause. You have to refuel. You have to have a time where you can breathe and your brain is not going 80,000 miles per hour. Sometimes the businesses that don't succeed is not because it's not a good business. It's because its leadership is not practicing good practice. And one of the best ways to practice good practice and make sure you get some longevity out of your business is to take care of you. You have to pause, even if it's just 1 week. I remember when I first got this concept, I was maybe 14 years into my company and I was cracking. Like I was coming undone. I was stressed. I was single parenting still, and I had 3 kids that I was raising, and one of them was giving me a struggle, and one of them was really sick. And I couldn't figure out how to do it all, and I was really coming undone. And so a very close friend of mine, she booked a hotel. She got all the snacks that I liked. She took my phone and she left me there. And she says, do not come out of this room. And I think, and it was only 2 days. It was only 2 days. It wasn't a week. I'm telling you to schedule a week. Like nobody told me that. I'm telling you to schedule a week. And that's your week that you go every year. You go away and you just stop. But it was 2 days. And I will tell you what I did for that 2 days. I slept and I cried. But by the third day, I felt lighter. I felt clearer. I felt like the fog had lifted. And I didn't want to leave the moment. I knew that I needed more time and I could understand the importance of doing what I did. And so, what somebody didn't tell me is number 22: schedule your vacations and take them and turn your freaking phone off. I promise the work, the list, the calendar, it'll all be there when you come back. But if you're not taking this time to take care of you, this thing has the potential to emotionally, mentally, and physically break you if you're not paying attention. And most businesses don't always not make it because they're not providing a good service. It's because the service provider is not taking care of themselves. Vacation. 23. Okay. Eat, sleep, and be merry. They didn't tell me that. Do you know sometimes I will go an entire day and not realize I haven't eaten? I know, it's silly, right? It's so true. You could be so committed to your work that you don't eat well. You could be so focused on a project that you forget to even sleep. You up all night, you typing things, you making things, you brainstorming things, you emailing because you didn't do it during the day because you was doing 80 other things. And the third thing is sometimes it stops being fun. It does. It stops being fun. It just starts being hard and starts being stressful and, you know, and that's not good. Stress is not good. That'll kill you. So what I didn't get told, number 23, is T, you got to be intentional about eating and sleeping and being merry. You got to build that stuff into your life. And if your business takes off the way mine has, you have to be intentional about building that stuff in your life. I have great friends. My great friends, they make me laugh. And I think laughter's medicine. If this is too serious and life is too serious, again, you're steering a ship, and sometimes it's critical. It's critical. Anything too serious or too firm, it's easily cracked. It's easily broken. So if you don't have the flexibility and the agility that being happy, being merry brings you, or being well slept or well fed, like think about it. How do you feel at Thanksgiving when you get to eat all your favorite things? It does something to you, right? Like, how do you feel when you can sleep in on a Saturday and then wake up when you feel like it and go for a walk? Feels good, right? When you become a business owner, you actually have to build that into your life. And I remember that being like a regular part of my routine, but not when I started my business. So there are things that you're going to have to schedule in that were just part of practice that are not anymore because the work is intense. You have to build in eating. Take a freaking lunch break. You have to build in sleeping. Clock out. It'll be there tomorrow and everything will be okay. And you'll have fresh eyes and fresh energy to attack all the things on the list. And be merry. Laugh. 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 It is medicine. If you're too serious about all this stuff has the potential to break you. And that means your business won't succeed. Not because you're not a successful kind of person. It's because you're not taking care of the person so that they're holistically successful. That's number 23. Number 24. Guess what? You cannot be married to any one idea. Now, let me tell you what I did. I made a mistake. You want to hear my mistake? I failed. You want to hear my failure? I was so committed to doing this one thing, this one way. And I had my team. I even had people come off the street, strangers like, are you sure that T, I don't know if you're ready for, and I'm thinking, you're not going to stop me. It's my idea. And I've already built a relationship with it in my head, and I'm married to it. And I didn't have the humility to say, this relationship is toxic and maybe that's not a good idea. We should break up so I can stay in business. When I first started my business, somebody did not tell me, T, you can't be married to any one idea, because what that will do is it'll keep you stuck in a place and a time. And sometimes that idea works for this time, but this idea doesn't work for this time. Sometimes this idea works for this base of constituents, but it doesn't work for this base of constituents. And you expand and you've scaled and you've grown and your territory has changed. But you're so married to doing it this one way, not even seeing that it can't work for these people because these people didn't have these people experiences. And so you're forcing something to work and it's stressing everybody around you out because you're married to an idea that doesn't work everywhere. So you have to have the wherewithal, put your hubris in your back freaking pocket. Don't matter what it's going to make you feel like. Doesn't matter if you think you're going to be embarrassed because you don't know it all. That doesn't matter. Stay humble and know. You can't be married to doing things just like this, only this. T, this is what I had to learn. I want you to learn now so you don't get into it. You don't have to do things one way. Don't be so committed to doing things one way that you're not open to doing it 18 ways, which brings you 18 more revenue streams, baby. So what I didn't know before that I know now is don't ever build a relationship with an idea in a way that it causes a toxic relationship between you and that idea that then you can't translate and help other people because you won't change, you won't grow, you won't shift. Have you ever seen those guys? I say guys because I think of, my mom's friend JoJo. Here we are, back in the 80s, he was that guy. He had a Jerry curl, he had the leather jacket like Michael Jackson Thriller. He knew all the moves. He had the chain thing connected to his wallet. He was JoJo. That was Michael Jackson. Like everybody thought he was Michael Jackson, but he wasn't. He was JoJo, right? Listen, here we are in 2000. JoJo, you can't be married to the idea of being Michael Jackson with a Jerry curl anymore because Michael Jackson wasn't even Michael Jackson with a Jerry curl. Like you got to graduate from that idea. That's what it makes me think of when I was practicing that. Like I was like, T, like you're JoJo with the Jerry curl. Could you stop making everybody want to like do it like that? They can't do it like that because now we're in this decade and nobody wants to be that from that decade. So that's just a little visual for you when people tell you like, yeah, I don't know, I don't know, just pause and listen for a little bit and ask yourself, am I being a JoJo with a Jerry curl? That's what I do. But I need that visual so I don't get stuck in one way. So number 24 is don't be married to any one idea. Build relationship that's healthy, but you don't got to marry it because it may not work everywhere. Okay, come on, business people, stay agile. Number 25, you have to decide. Ugh, I know. Nobody told me that a lot of things would happen in my business only after I made a decision. Um, I think decision is one of the most powerful things a human being can own. And I find that most often people are waiting for people to tell them the right way or the good way or the money way or the traditional way instead of them just deciding. Once you make a decision, it kind of gives everything permission to activate. And I think I was so insecure in the beginning of things because I'd never owned a business, especially one that employed other people and, occupied different territories. I was good working by myself. Like I was good being a photographer by myself. I was good being a graphic artist by myself. I was good, consulting people by myself. What I wasn't good at is like the company stuff and then all the decision making resting on me. And so I was so insecure that I would look for people to tell me, okay, T, do this, or this is how we did this before. But really, my company didn't need me to do that as much as it needed me just to decide. So I think it's helpful, especially in the beginning of things. If you're growing, just know that you're the decision maker. Like you're the one to make the decision. And when you find yourself in a place of insecurity, mentorship is so important. I had a very strong mentor in business for a number of years, and so I could bounce things off of my mentor, my coach. But ultimately, he would never make the decision for me. He would guide me to the options, but I always had to decide. And so if I could get you to just, realize anything in the beginning of things, this next point, 25, is ultimately it's whatever you decide. You're the visionary, you're the one with the idea, you're the leader, you're the top, you're the one. I mean, you can consult with your team, you can consult with coaches, you can consult with people, but ultimately you must decide. And whatever you decide, even if it's wrong, it's still right because you decided. Write that down. Even if you're wrong, you're still right because you made the decision, and the decision will activate everything. So, again, number 25, starting your business, eh, you got to decide.